This is QTV Nightly News coming to you from our studios on Caraba Avenue. I am Umutu Gajaga and thank you for joining us. First, a look at the main headlines. Annual torrential rains causing floods have ravaged the rice fields in parts of Fuladu in the Upper River region. The British High Commissioner in the Gambia hosted a reception for Gambian Olympians and Paralympians at her residence in Bakau on Wednesday. Today, October 10th, marked World Mental Health Day, a global observance aimed at raising awareness about mental health issues. The National Eye Health Program of the Ministry of Health, in collaboration with partners, commemorated World Sight Day in Banjul on Thursday. In international news, Wednesday, 9th October, marked 62 years since Uganda gained independence from British colonial rule on October 9, 1962. Those were the news headlines, and now the news in detail. Welcome and thank you for joining us. This is QTV News. Annual floods have become a reoccurring natural disaster, continually ravaging rice fields in part of the Upper River region. The latest affected communities are those in Fuladu, where vulnerable villages are experiencing significant impacts. Samba Kamara visited some victims, and his story is narrated by Ansumane Sonyasi.
In the Gambia, rice is the most consumed grain nationwide. This year, the communities of Sutukoba and Kosema Tenda are facing significant losses, with over 70 hectares of cultivated rice fields destroyed by the recent floods. This recurring disaster is a major setback for them, as they rely heavily on rice production to sustain their households. We hear from Faraba Jabi, a farmer at the Sutukoba rice fields.
After paying for the tractor to plow, we use spades to level the land and create channels for water to flow smoothly to the plots, as we lack proper sponsorship to improve the fields. The floods are a recurring disaster that repeatedly destroy our crops. This year, the destruction has been significant, and this is the only rice field we count on.
Here is Moro Sane of the Kosema Tenda Village Development Committee.
Akadoku bar sembo kana musolle kambake ke kadoku bar musolle ka sembo ka waraje.
This year, we have more women working in the rice fields than men. We planted between 80 and 85 hectares, and we are pleading with the government to support a project that works in both the dry and rainy seasons. The ground is uneven, which is why the water is not flowing properly.
Kadun faro mal lebul walanda jiobu ka funti. Faro la lebul balea ole na jiobu ka funti.
Bintuba, a farmer at Kosema Tenda, also spoke of how they have been affected.
The
difficulties we face with our rice production are overwhelming. Every year it's the same, except for 1 year when we had better yields. Although this rice field was sponsored by the government, it is not level at all, and there are no proper water runways.
Flooding in rice fields can have several detrimental effects, including reduced yields or total crop loss. Degrading soil quality and fertility disrupt the planting schedule, affecting the growth cycle of rice, increase poverty and hardship for families reliant on rice farming. Ansumane Sonyasi for QTV News.
The British High Commissioner in the Gambia hosted a reception for Gambian Olympians and Paralympians at her residence in Bakau on Wednesday. She welcomed athletes, sports officials, and government representatives. More in this story. Gambian athletes who competed at the Paris 2024 Olympics and Paralympic Games were honored by the British High Commission on Wednesday evening. 7 Gambian athletes participated in the Paris Olympics, while 2 competed in the Paralympics in July and August of this year. Harriet King, the British High Commissioner to the Gambia, expressed her delight in welcoming the athletes.
Your dedication, your discipline and your determination as athletes to represent the very, very best of the Olympic spirit makes all of us in the Gambia, all of us Gambians, and I count myself as a Gambian, makes us all incredibly proud. We recognise that participating in the Olympics is more about, it's not just about winning a medal. It's about representing your country. It's about embracing unity and striving for personal excellence.
Government officials, including the Ministers of Defense and Youth and Sports, were joined by members of the Gambia National Olympic Committee, the Paralympics Committee, the Judo Association, and staff of the Q Group. Bakari Waibaji, the Minister of Youth and Sports, praised the athletes as exemplary ambassadors for the country.
We just want to appreciate the good work that these Olympians have been doing. Yes, at the Olympics, but even before the Olympics, they've been to the African Games. They did so well. That's where Gina won the 100 meters and the 200 meters. And Ibrahima got qualification for the Olympics at the last minute when all hopes were down. Others couldn't make it in swimming, in taekwondo, in judo. But the general thing is, as a country, as a government, we appreciate all of these things that these great ambassadors of the Gambia do. Ali
Ka, one of the two athletes who represented the Gambia at the Paralympic Games in Paris, expressed his heartfelt gratitude for the reception held in their honor. We went to the Games to give our best. Although our best wasn't enough, I am happy. I am grateful to be here and to have our efforts recognized. Gina Mariam Bass Bitte and Ibrahima Kamara stood out among Gambian athletes at the Paris Olympics, competing in the sprints. Despite ending at the semi-final stage, their performances were appreciated by Gambians. Both athletes shared their delight at being recognized by the British High Commission.
I'm really glad and happy. This year have been a great season for me. I don't have anything to complain. Yeah, this is an honor and we really appreciate this because I think last year they did the same after the Commonwealth. So we really appreciate this.
We really appreciate it because somebody, she told us here she's a Gambian because she's working in Gambia. So somebody from another nation appreciate what we do for our nation. Then we have nothing to say and thank her very much.
Food and drinks were served and attendees engaged in friendly conversation, highlighting how sports can bring people together in celebration and camaraderie. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News. Today, October 10th, marked World Mental Health Day, a global observance aimed at raising awareness about mental health issues and mobilizing support and efforts worldwide. Usman Jatta reports.
Mental health refers to a state of well-being that allows individuals to manage life stresses, recognize their potential, and actively contribute to their communities. The Gambia has seen an increase in mental health disorders, with experts attributing this to various factors, including drug abuse, trauma, discrimination, and neglect. Dr. Sylvia Lorenzi Jaone is a clinical psychologist and the founder of the Peace of Mind organization, a mental health group dedicated to supporting individuals with mental health disorders.
Sometimes I laugh and I say that, the Gambian society is not very mental health friendly, but just to mean that there is a lot to do when it comes to raise awareness, create more knowledge and education surrounding mental health.
Mental health experts assert that anyone, regardless of age, gender, or ethnicity, can develop a behavioral health disorder. This year's World Mental Health Day theme is "It is time to prioritize mental health in the workplace." The World Health Organization emphasizes that healthy work environments can serve as protective factors for mental well-being. Here is Antonio Guterres, the Secretary General of the United Nations.
Nearly 1 billion people live with a mental disorder. Every 40 seconds, someone dies from suicide. And depression is now recognized as a leading cause of illness and disability among children and adolescents.
Recently, the Gambia has witnessed a rise in drug abuse, contributing to an increase in mental disorders among young people. Dr. Sylvia Lorenzi Jaone emphasizes the need to examine the root causes of drug abuse.
Sometimes we use them to just support ourselves, when emotionally we cannot deal with our feelings. But for me, is the root cause that is very important. So why people, are putting themselves into drugs, what they are looking for, what they want. So we need to kind of, consider that part as well and start to look at our young people as vulnerable, as people who really need emotional support.
Despite the availability of effective prevention and treatment options, many individuals with mental disorders in the Gambia lack access to appropriate care, facing stigma and discrimination from society. Here is Dr. Lorenzo Jaone's advice on preventing mental health disorders.
Basic needs like sleeping good, eating good, and have time for relaxation, have time for self-reflection, prioritize ourselves, and learn how to be gentle and soft when we talk to ourselves, because we are the most important person of our life.
In a statement, Emmanuel Daniel Diouf, the chairman of the National Human Rights Commission of the Gambia, said many individuals spend a significant amount of their lives in workplaces. Therefore, stress and toxic work environment can often lead to mental health challenges. Chairman Diouf urges employers to make the workplace environment conducive and safe for the productivity and creativity of the workers, and most significantly, to ensure well-being, dignity, and enhance social inclusion. Osman Jata reporting for QTV News.
The end of that report takes us to a commercial break, and when we return, we still have some more stories. Do stay tuned.
Welcome to the future of transportation in the Gambia. The Bertel Harding Highway, a 22-kilometer double carriageway, is set to revolutionize travel and connectivity in our beloved country. The Bertel Harding Highway is transforming transportation in the Gambia with new roundabouts and vehicular overpasses. But safety must come first. Standing along the road or at roundabouts to flag down taxis creates unsafe conditions and unnecessary traffic jams. Remember, always board taxis at designated taxi garages or the garas located at major traffic points. Drivers stopping in no stopping zones will be penalized. Let's keep our roads clear and safe. Together, we can ensure a safe and efficient journey for all.
Q Money and Orange Money has just made money transfer easier. Now you can send money from Gambia to Senegal directly from your Q Money wallet. So what are you waiting for? Get your Q Money account now and start sending money to your friends and families through Orange Money in Senegal now. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back, and thank you very much for joining us. This is QTV News. The National Eye Health Program of the Ministry of Health, in collaboration with partners, commemorated World Sight Day on Thursday at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital in Banjul. Mam Nabukar tells us more.
World Sight Day is observed annually in the second week of October to draw attention to blindness and vision impairment. This year's theme, Children Love Your Eyes, raises awareness of the importance of protecting the eyes at an early age, to promote vision care among the youth to prevent unnecessary blindness and impairments during adulthood. Dr. Winston Cisse, the Chief Executive Officer of Sheikh Zayed Regional Eye Care Center, spoke about the urgent need for eye care.
Imagine a generation of young people who have all the information they need to protect their eyes and crucially take the necessary steps needed to look after their eye health, from reducing screen time and placing importance on being outside through to seeking help from any ailments or discomfort. World Sight Day also can serve as a reminder that adults should prioritize their eye health too. It is important to take regular breaks during activities such as reading or using digital devices, and wear eye protection when using tools and chemicals that could damage the eyes.
Dr. Fatoumata Diba, the Deputy Director of the Department of Health Services, shared some of the Gambia's achievements to combat eye health issues.
A major achievement that the country had in the field of eye health was that in 2021, the Gambia was declared trachoma-free by the World Health Organization. After the Gambia eliminated trachoma as a public health problem, these achievements were registered through decades of efforts by the National Eye Health Program of the Ministry of Health and all our partners, especially the site savers during that period.
Abdul Aziz Dabakh Gay, the Deputy Mayor of Banjul, says vision is an invaluable gift and affirms the support and cooperation of the Banjul City Council to promote eye health.
Banjul City Council, under the leadership of our Lordship, Mayor Rohey Malik Lowe, is proud to host this event and stands ready to open our doors to support this noble cause. We are fully committed to facilitating initiatives that prioritize the health and well-being of our children. Our city welcomes and encourages such meaningful partnerships, and we gladly host you here today with the promise of full cooperation in all endeavors aimed at protecting and promoting eye health in our communities.
Sajo Kanyi, the program manager of the National Eye Health Program, says they will continue to collaborate with the Education Ministry to make it a policy to screen school children. Mr. Kanyi encourages Gambians to visit Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital in Banjul, Sheikh Zayed Regional Eye Care Center in Kanifing, and the various eye clinics across the country to get screened, as prevention is better than cure. For QTV News, I am Mam Nabuka.
The National Population Commission Secretariat, in collaboration with the Network of Parliamentarians on Population Development, organized a two-day national dialogue on gender-based violence on Wednesday. Lamin Alajifandin Dabo reports.
The primary goal of this dialogue is to unite communities in the fight against all forms of gender-based violence, GBV, and to foster an environment where people can live in peace and harmony. Mariama Fanne is the Director of Population Affairs.
Your presence, distinguished invitees, is a testament to your dedication to this cause. And I encourage each of us to engage openly and actively as we seek to forge solutions that will have a lasting impact on our communities.
Sexual and gender-based violence is prevalent in the Gambia, with many men and women accepting it as the norm, with many victims remaining passive. It is crucial to break the culture of silence surrounding this issue, to encourage open discussion and effective intervention. Honorable Jibin Balo, Chairman of the Network of Parliamentarians on Population Development, describes the event as a family gathering.
We gathered here to dialogue, to exchange ideas, share best practices, to come up with a resolution that will help to guide and shape the society that we are into. I believe this 2 days is going to be very interactive.
Muslim and Christian religious leaders can play critical roles in uniting people. Representing the Christian community, Reverend James S. Cole spoke about the importance of organizing such an event.
We are the ones who are at the forefront. We ascend the pulpits, both in the mosque and in the church, and we preach. And when we preach, people listen. So when we have information that is of importance with regards to gender-based violence, when we preach and we tell the people and teach them, I believe they will understand.
Imam Alaj Usman Jah, a facilitator at the event, delivered a presentation titled The Islamic Perspective on Gender-Based Violence.
I call all religious leaders definitely to try to join us, fight against these misunderstandings and that also spread between religious leaders that lead them sometimes to throwing stones to each other. I think, inshallah ta'ala, this will be a good solution.
Several other topics were presented at the event by various facilitators. Yadi Konjai Eribo spoke on the importance of girls' education for economic development, while Hanimatu Jallo addressed the health complications related to sexual and gender-based violence. Mariatu Newlands discussed existing laws on SGBV and their corresponding punishments, highlighting the Women's Amendment Act of 2015 which prohibits female genital mutilation. It is hoped that participants will share the knowledge gained from the two-day event by engaging with their communities, particularly imams in mosques and pastors in churches. For QTV News, I am Lamin Alaifandindav.
Coming up next is international news. Welcome back. Yesterday marked 62 years since Uganda gained independence from British colonial rule on October 9, 1962. The country has experienced a remarkable journey filled with triumphs, challenges, and profound transformation. Adedarame looks back at Uganda's journey since independence.
Uganda's independence was ushered in with Sir Edward Mutesa II as its first president, alongside Prime Minister Milton Obote. 4 years later, in 1966, Obote seized power, installing himself as the country's second president in a coup that would set the tone for Uganda's turbulent political landscape. Obote ruled for a decade before being ousted in 1971 by his army commander, General Idi Amin. Amin's brutal dictatorship, marked by human rights abuses, economic decline, and the expulsion of Ugandan Asians, left an indelible scar on the nation's history. Amin's reign ended in 1979 when he was overthrown by Tanzanian forces and Ugandan exiles. After a brief period of political instability, Milton Obote returned to power in 1980, but was once again overthrown 5 years later by General Tito Okello. Yet, Uganda's most significant turning point came in 1986, when Yoweri Museveni, leading the National Resistance Army, overthrew the government and took power. Museveni has been president ever since, overseeing substantial economic growth, political reforms, and peace initiatives, though his extended rule has also sparked debates over democracy and human rights. As Uganda marks 62 years of independence today, it reflects on a history shaped by change, resilience, and hope. From the early days of instability to the 38-year rule of President Museveni, the nation continues to strive for progress and unity. Uganda today stands as a testament to the spirit of its people, determined to build a brighter future. Happy Independence Day to Uganda. For QTV News, I'm Adedarame.
From that story now to sports news. The official draw for the group stages of the Total Energies CAF Champions League 2024-2025 season has set up what promises to be another thrilling group phase of Africa's top club football competition. More in this report. Al Ahly SC of Egypt, Africa's most successful club with 12 titles and reigning champions, lead arguably the toughest group, Group C, which also includes CR Belouizdad of Algeria, former champions Orlando Pirates of South Africa and Stade Abidjan of Ivory Coast, making their first group stage appearance. Al Ahly would love to retain their grip on the title. Five-time winners TP Mazembe of DR Congo lead Group A, which includes the ever-improving Young Africans of Tanzania, Al Hilal from Sudan, and Algeria's MC Alger. Group B sees 2016 champions Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa seeking an elusive second continental title, having to travel up north twice to face three-time champions Raja Casablanca as well as AS FAR, both from Morocco. The group is completed by DR Congo outfit Mamema United FC, who are enjoying a dream start to their Total Energies CAF Champions League debut in securing a group stage place. In Group D, last season's runners-up, Esperance de Tunis of Tunisia, will face stiff competition from the ever-ambitious Pyramids of Egypt, as well as two group stage debutants, Angola's GD Sagrada Esperança, which translate as Sacred Hope, and Joliba AC from Mali. Elsewhere, the West Africa Football Union WAFU Zone A has issued the fixtures for the upcoming Total Energies Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers. The Gambia will face Guinea on the first day of the competition at 6 p.m. at Stade de Lat Dior. The Gambia will then face familiar opponents and dominant force host Senegal 2 days later, before finishing the group stage with a match against Liberia on October the 26th at Annex Stade Abdoulaye Wade. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News. Now, before we end this news bulletin, here is a recap of our main news headlines. Annual torrential rains causing floods have ravaged the rice fields in parts of Fuladu in the Upper River region. The British High Commission in the Gambia hosted a reception for Gambian Olympians and Paralympians that are residents in Bakau on Wednesday. Today, October 10th, marked World Mental Health Day, a global observance aimed at raising awareness about mental health issues. The National Eye Health Program of the Ministry of Health, in collaboration with partners, commemorated World Sight Day in Banjul on Thursday. And in international news, Wednesday, 9th October, marked 62 years since Uganda gained independence from British colonial rule on October 9, 1962. But that's all we have time for in this news bulletin. Thank you very much for watching. Join us again at 10 for another bulletin.